What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We are back with another video. Today we are watching CallMeARJ. Ultra Vegito finally meets the Grand Priest and Zeno. Alright. This is what we've been waiting for right here. We about to get to the boss battle. You know what I'm saying? This is the final boss battle. You know what I'm saying? We're getting closer and closer. My boy just beat the last top 5 strongest light. And I'm ready to get into it, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Lego.
So our story continues with the epic view of all 6 legendary Saiyans, all standing together, now surrounding their would-be leader, Ultra Vegito, on the battlefield. From Gogeta to Yamoshi to Vegeta, Broly and Goku, all 5 with serious looks on their face, knowing all too well the brevity of their upcoming task. Why so serious? But overwatching them all with a far more entertained look would be Ultra Vegito, his red eyes still pulsating as he continues in motivation. All of you should be happy. We are not going into battle to our deaths. This is the moment you have all prepared for. We have all prepared for. Our time has finally come to end the rule of these pathetic gods. I think you're forgetting something else, Vegito. As an unimpressed Prince of Saiyans would interrupt. Killing the gods is not our only goal. Don't forget about bringing back Bulma and the rest of the Earthlings. Remember, this is our final shot. There's no time rings, there's no redos. You beat Dark with ease, but the priest, Zeno, the 2 gods. Are you absolutely sure we can do this? There doesn't seem to be any rush. We could probably hold out longer if we wanted to. To which Goku would agree. He's right. It's not that we don't believe in you. Believe in all our progress. But the Zeno I know raced an entire universe in the matter of a few seconds. If they wanted us, they'd send more guys down to fight right now. I remember not training enough for Cell. Maybe this time we're better off safe than sorry.
Vegito got talking.
How pathetic. But Vegito, dismissively, would just look to them and reply, "How you've fallen, Son Goku. You had faith in your teen son, but not in a proven monster like me. Maybe you require some more training, but you can trust in me, Saiyan. I have all I need as is." But Gogeta, the other fusion on the battlefield, would immediately notice the strange way Vegito was talking, looking to Goku and Vegeta asking, "Why is Vegito talking like that? It's weird. He just called you a Saiyan, as if he wasn't one himself. Is that normal? I have no idea how your universe functions." But Broly, also noticing, would be quick to respond in anger. "No! This is not how Vegito normally speaks.
Oh.
Someone is talking through him. It's obvious. Someone has taken over, and I fear it is probably Lucifer."
Got that nigga.
What? Instantly causing Goku, Yamoshi, and Vegeta to react in shock to the sudden theory. Surely, that couldn't be the case, as Goku would mutter, "Lucifer? Wait a minute," and Yamoshi would say, "He can't be serious. Is that what those eyes are? I didn't even notice. While Vegito would just grunt, disbelieving. Vegito, you didn't! But just as everyone would begin to turn on Vegito and suspect his change, an extreme and unexpected pain would strike his head internally as he yells, "My head! What now?" Before eventually the pain would seem to subside just as quick as it arrived. Removing his hand from his skull with his eyes still closed, whispering, What just happened? Who was that?" Before regaining his composure back with a smile, and noticeably now back to his normal black eyes, Vegito would then say, "Lucifer, you must be out of your mind if you think I'd let that ugly wretch take over me. It was just a slip of the tongue, I guess. You forget how much time I've spent with Frieza and Black recently. It is most definitely me, you clowns." Before then quickly turning his attention to Goku, saying, "But enough with the paranoia! Kakarot! What are you doing just standing around? Jiren and Hit are on the verge of dying. Those are your friends, right? Hurry up and use your Seraphim abilities to heal them at once. I don't sense much energy left within them."
Sorry. The
Which
hoes
Goku,
texted.
finally remembering his fallen comrades, would place his 2 fingers on his forehead instantly and yell, "Right! I almost forgot," before then vanishing. And so, some time would then pass, and among the 6 Saiyans, both Jiren and Hit would now also be in the party, alive and well again. But not forgetting what had happened in the past, with a steadfast look, Jiren the Grey would address Vegito, saying, "I will neither thank you nor blame you for me still existing. Time has passed, and I can see and sense the changes within
Yeah,
you.
he got a little stronger.
But I guess not even that has served to sway this conquest for revenge. And nothing I say will surely have any effect. But as far as helping you, my answer will always be the same. I will not participate, and you will have to kill me before I ever become a part of you." To which Vegito would at first just remain silent, before walking slowly over to Jiren and then, "No problem, Jiren," giving the giant alien warrior a handshake with a smile. The God Killer would continue, "As much as your power would be useful, I'm not kidding when I say I have more than enough as it is. If I can't beat them like this, then adding yours will hardly make a difference. But you get back to training, Jiren, and by the time you see us again, we can have that rematch of ours. I promise there will be no tricks this time." With Jiren just replying,
Okay, what the fuck?
"Of course, son. I mean Vegito." And with that reunion out of the way, Vegito would then turn to the legendary assassin Hit, and with a smile, not
shit.
forgetting him, would say, "And you too, Hit. Thank you as well. Without you, I'm sure the fourth would have lost his patience just a little too soon. I know I told you in our last battle to take the ring and show me one day all of the things you could do with it. What you could figure out with your natural affinity for time. But I guess I'll wait for that rematch too. When I return, I'll be keen to learn everything you know. But in response, Hit would just stare back at him in silence. Impossible to know from his blank expression whether he is now friend or foe. But it wouldn't be too long before, still in silence, without a word, the assassin of Universe 6 would begin walking towards him as silently as ever. Before in a turn of events, despite his lack of words, handshaking the God Killer there and then.
Okay.
Seemingly even confusing Vegito with the odd interaction, as he just continues to stare into Hit's eyes with a bemused look, still not knowing what any of this meant. And with that, Hit would just walk away, nothing said before... He would fly off into the sky immediately, leaving everyone else without as much as a goodbye. But Gogeta, who would be in the air and of course not familiar with the Universe 6 warrior, would watch on with almost as much confusion as Vegito, as he would then comment, "Who the hell was that guy? He kinda looks like Cell. Another android? Whatever he is, I'm glad he's not in our timeline. What a killjoy." But Vegito, now seemingly have understood something about Hit's silence, would just close his eyes and smirk mysteriously, defending his old friend, saying, "No, you'd be honored to have a warrior like him in your company. That man just gave us one more fighting chance.
Bet.
And will be more important than you could ever imagine. Thank you, Hit."
Said she hit.
"What are you doing?" But breaking his cool while watching all the wholesome interactions, Vegeta would have a very different response, yelling, "What are you playing at, Vegito? You just let two of the strongest warriors in the multiverse get away. I don't know what you're thinking, but at this point, you're just taking unnecessary risks. Do as you want, but if you're hell-bent on going straight to the priest and Zeno now, get it over with and absorb us all now." "Relax, Prince." But Vegito, who has none of the same concerns, would just turn and respond, "All in good time, Vegeta. Don't worry about those two. You forget, we still have a certain warrior out there. One who defeated both of them with ease. He's the real prize that I've been fattening up for the last 2 decades. As on finishing saying this, the God Killer would inexplicably vanish from everyone's sight, and to their complete surprise. But regardless, meanwhile in the depths of space, a certain warrior would be seen flying at breakneck speed.
Damn. Frieza.
And once zoomed in, it would be revealed to be none other than Black Frieza. A cocky smirk on his face, as it seems he had escaped undetected while the rest suffered at the commotion of battling Dark.
Frieza
With
ass. I
the
forgot about
former
Frieza.
Emperor of the Universe saying, "How perfect for me, while those monkeys expend their lives dying to the hands of the fifth, I will just rebuild my army, continue my training, and rule over this now godless and angel-less universe. And the best thing of all, there will be no more monkeys to get in my way. What? But just as the Emperor would begin to fantasize his lush future, the very thing he thought was gone forever would appear right in front of him like a nightmarish apparition. And of course, in the form of the God Killer.
Yes, sir.
Who with a wide grin would say, "Well, fancy seeing you here, Frieza. I feel like we haven't had a chance to catch up since the Pyramid of Power. Tell me, where exactly do you think you're going?"
You ain't slick little nigga.
You! Leaving Black Frieza now almost stunned for words, as with his eyes wide open, almost not believing what's in front of him, he would mutter, How can this be? You should all be dead! That monster Dark! Don't tell me you actually managed to defeat him! Impossible! Impossible! To which a laughing Vegito
Impossible.
would reveal,
Impossible.
"You must have poor memory to think anything is impossible for the likes of me. That kid is dead, and I beat him without even trying. I didn't even need to transform, unlike a weakling like you."
Oh shit.
No! Which would begin aggravating Frieza, as a mixture of anger and futility would overcome the Frost Demon before... I'm sick of you! Instantly powering up to his all-new true demon form, gained from within the Pyramid of Power, rushing straight at the God Killer as if he would catch him off guard. But in the face of one of the most powerful villains to ever touch the Dragon Ball world, new form or not, it would be Vegito, who just chuckles. "So this is your new form? Not very creative, is it? I feel like I've seen this before." "Unfortunately, I don't think you've seen this before, though." As instantly in response, Vegito would then just unlock his cell tail from his left arm before... In a brutal scene we have not seen in a while, and rarely ever on Mortal,
About to suck him
Vegito
up.
would launch his cell tail and penetrate straight through the body of true demon Frieza, going from one end and out the other as if poking a needle through tissue. Why? Leaving the now profusely bleeding out and on the verge of collapsing from pain Frieza to now mumble with a far more humble tone. "Why would you do this to me? 20 years I spent with you. You became like family.
Cap.
We had a plan. We would win together. Please spare me. I can keep training. Just 10 more years, 5 more days, and I will improve again. Enough to reach you again." But as Frieza would beg, Vegito would just slowly push his cell tail deeper and deeper, getting closer to the Emperor in the process until... To the surprise of Frieza,
About to kiss that nigga?
Vegito would now grab onto his chin tightly, looking at him directly in the eyes before replying, It's always the same old story with you, ain't it, Frieza? Just like on Namek, you'll sink as low as you can to save your own hide, won't you? The reality is, dear Frieza, you're weak, but you're no fool. You knew the score by the end of our training. You just overestimated just how powerful you would get in your new form, and thought you could double-cross me. But I'm afraid, at the level I'm at now, not even 10,000 years more training would make you anywhere close to match me. Goodbye and good riddance. Find solace in finally becoming part of a true final form. No!
Yeah.
As instantly, without any more to be said, Vegito would callously then stab the neck of Frieza instantly. Stop! Please! I can be of use! I promise!
Peace out,
And as
Frieza.
the Emperor would now finally realize and feel his demise, shouting one last time, he would watch until... No! Ultimately, in the end, Vegito's absorption would just abruptly begin. All the while, the God Killer himself would just finally say, as he simultaneously begins to vanish, "Congratulations, Frieza, on finally becoming a monkey."
Oh,
And soon,
his
Vegito
biggest
would
fear.
then reappear on the battlefield as his foot crashes onto the ground. Here, a little present for you guys. Perhaps one of you could use this as a t-shirt. As suddenly, swiping his arm, Vegito would throw a mysteriously light object onto the ground. And disgustingly, that item would be revealed to be the completely drained skin and bones carcass of the late Frieza, slapping onto the ground with a wet thud as the rest of the warriors reel back in terror. Frieza! Instantly shocking the prince, having never actually seen a dead Frieza in the flesh before.
that's crazy.
Ew! Vegito! While Goku would just be comedically completely grossed out. Going green in the face, he can hardly believe what Vegito had just done so suddenly. Never mind him. It's time to begin. To begin re-assimilating you all. But wanting to move on to business now, Vegito would redirect his attention, as immediately the rest of the Saiyans now following suit, they would all begin closing their eyes, as Vegito, standing ready in the middle of them, would then say, "Excellent, boys. This is the culmination of all our training. This is the moment that will create the true final thorn to the priest. Trust in me to make all things right again." And just like that, Broly first would begin returning back to the pink boo material from which he was first formed, with half of his body instantly deforming and spreading across his whole torso, with his final words just before his face is lost being, "When this is all over, Chilai, Limo, you will be safe forever." Before then finally condensing into a smaller area of goo and then splashing straight onto Vegito's body, as the God Killer would comment, the legendary Angel of Destruction, Broly. Thank you. And next would be Yamoshi, whose own last words would be, Young Saiyan. Over time I have come to understand your motives. Use my power as you like, just make sure you don't screw this up and insult the name of the great Saiyans. And talking of Saiyans, the unconscious Goku Black on the ground, too, would be no exception, as even in his badly beaten state, his body too would undergo the same change, but of course, with nothing said. And so too, they, along with Broly, would then attach directly onto the God Killer's body, as Vegito would this time say, Don't worry, Yamoshi. I won't ruin the name of the Saiyans any more than I already have. Right, Black? You'll wake up good as new, back inside of me. And with 3 of the Saiyans now gone, Gogeta, who is from an entirely different timeline, would just smile, almost knowing what he must do already, saying, So, the time has come. I've been training for a long time just to see you. Another version of me get justice for the people of Earth. Whether it's my timeline or another, I will always be there to save my friends and family. I hope you know that, Vegito. As he would then begin walking over slowly to the God Killer, before then placing his arm on his alternate fusion's shoulder, saying, So this is how you told me to do it, right? Place my hand here and then? To which Vegito would look back at him and say, Yeah, just there, and my energy will slowly convert you into booze.
I was about to say, he did have Gogeta in him.
With Gogeta's final words as his body begins to liquidize, being fine.
I mean, yeah,
this better be temporary like you said. Win this battle, save everyone, and free us all. I believe in you, Vegito.
About 2 versions of Goku and Vegeta, you know.
And just like that, as the God Killer had said, a shadow would be cast over Vegito's face as Gogeta's entire body becomes part of Boo and splashes onto Vegito's body, as he would say briefly in response, You all worry too much. With your power, this is going to be a piece of cake. And so, with Vegito now having recombined with Broly, Yamoshi, Black, and now even Gogeta, only Goku and Vegeta would remain in silence, awaiting their turn. With the closed eyes, Goku thinking internally, Alright, here we go. I'll miss the fresh air. It was fun while it lasted. While Vegeta would just grunt, I hate this part. Fusion with Kakarot was never my favorite, but this just takes it a step further. But as time would pass, nothing would happen to either Saiyan. What? Leaving both eventually surprised,
what the hell?
They open their eyes in tandem, and Goku asks, Wait a second, we're still outside. What's going on, Vegito? And Vegeta asks, What gives? Why haven't you added our powers back to you? Isn't it obvious? As suddenly, the God Killer would become completely surrounded in both black and red lightning, as his power seemingly begins to rise uncontrollably, as if unstable and not able to be kept within his own body. But even so, Vegito, looking down at his hands with a smirk, would reply, "You're not needed anymore with this kind of strength. And besides, I'm gonna need to use your powers in other ways.
The hell?
Just you wait and see." Huh? Our powers? As Goku, not noticing the rising and unbalanced increase in Vegito's power, would just look at his own hands, in tandem, wondering what the God Killer could even mean. But all this thought would soon be interrupted, as now exploding in power, as if uncontrollable, Vegito would unleash a deep, menacing roar as dark, multicolored aura would shoot from all directions of his body, and at an increasing rate, as one half of the aura is splattered by red, crimson lightning, and the other by his signature black lightning. Kakarot! What is he doing? I don't know! As both Goku and Vegeta now suddenly stop in their tracks, covering themselves as they watch the fast-building explosion of energy tear through the planet as it expands at a ridiculous rate towards them. So large, even in space, on this planet which seems several times bigger than even Earth, Vegito's energy would be visible like a rocket until the entire planet, along with Goku and Vegeta, would explode in a raging blast.
It's off aura? That's crazy.
Goku and Vegeta, in their last moments, would just be completely lost in the light.
It's off
as
aura?
Vegeta would grumble, "That damn fool! He'll kill us all!" And Goku yells, "Hold on!" Until in the aftermath, nothing but rubble would be seen in space as the remnants of the planet floats through gracefully, but in the middle, two shining lights would remain. I did it again! Vegeta, are you okay? And revealed, floating in the air, would be Goku, surrounded in his seraphim energy and his hand extended out, but noticeably without even his seraphim eye activated, indicating a new level of control gained under pressure. I was saved again! As Vegeta, having just witnessed his life flash before his eyes, would just stand frozen, shocked that he was somehow saved by Goku's seraphim powers once again. But of course, they would not be alone in space, as a familiar brass laughter would then emerge from the darkness, covered still by debris, but crucially, this time back to having his red eyes active, with the cloaked figure saying, "Sorry about that. Where were we again? Oh yeah. Why I left you two out of my body." As Vegito would then reveal himself not only with the red eyes, but now completely healed once again, and back in his original gi and clothing, clearly formulated from his Buu body, as holding onto his freshly tied belt, he would look to the Saiyans and explain, "The reason is obvious, as I said, but twofold. The first is, of course, because I don't know if I'll even need your powers to beat the priest as I am now." Cocky brat! Instantly triggering Vegeta, who would continue, "Don't make the mistake of underestimating him. He's above the 5. You have no idea how strong he is, and I know." But with a deep voice, Vegito would interrupt, his face serious as ever, as he continues. The second reason is because you forget the priest will not be alone. I'm sure Zeno will just observe from afar, as he always does. But the two guards, Z and his brother, will not stand idly by. Last time we fought, I could tell. Z was still holding back. One-on-one, I would destroy him now. But combined with the priest and another one is what I would call an unnecessary risk to take. You and Son Goku will be the ones to battle them, while I deal with the main prize. When you're done winning, you can rejoin me and help me deliver the finishing blow. Hell yeah! Now that's a plan! And in reaction, the typically battle-interested Goku would just exclaim in excitement, raising his fist into the air saying, I've always wanted to fight those guys. Plus, I wonder how my Seraphim compares to his. Ridiculous! But meanwhile behind, a begrudging Vegeta would just fold his arms and concede. Very well. If you can survive until we join, then so be it. Good. Now let's go! As quickly, now finally ready, Vegito would appear directly behind the two Saiyans, Whis' staff in hand, looking to Goku into the eyes, asking, Ready? To which Goku would just nod, saying, As ready as I'll ever be, while Vegeta, with a side eye, would reply, Hurry up! And just like that, using the angel staff gifted at the very beginning of this long-running manga, Ultra Vegito, Seraphim Goku, and true demon of destruction Vegeta would all shoot off to their final battle with the gods who forsake them. And so, our scene would then shift to the dimension of Zeno and the Grand Priest. And within its center, the beam of divine energy carrying the three Saiyans would then arrive. And as the energy would dissipate, Vegito would appear between the two Saiyans who once made him up, each looking around, wary of what may attack them now. But soon enough, they would realize there would be nobody else there, as the God Killer would then quickly turn his head, looking from side to side, and inquire, Where the hell are they? I'm sure they've expected my arrival. Did the cowards actually run? Surely not. Wow, they're here! But suddenly, a high-pitched voice would call from the sky from behind the three Saiyans. Huh? And Goku would be the first to react, turning his head quickly yelling, That's Zen-chan! Everyone, be on guard! Wow! And finally revealed in the air, sitting on his throne, as if about to enjoy a show, Zeno would indeed be seen in the flesh, surrounded by his two royal guards, and behind even further back, the Grand Priest. But with an excited face, ready for his final show, Zeno would yell, Son Goku, you're here, finally, and you too, but Vegito, you're so cool! But Vegito, now finally excited to see his ultimate goal finally in his sights, would just say, Yes, Zeno, I'm back, and I'm here for yours and your slave priest's heads. What? How dare you! Instantly triggering the two guards, who can hardly believe the blasphemy of threatening the Omni King himself and in their presence. But the priest, unimpressed but still too composed to lose his temper completely, would just let out from behind. Say what you like, God Killer.
Oh shit.
But I too have been waiting patiently for this day. For the day this silly game comes to an end. Before then addressing the guards, the priest would yell, Z-S, stand your ground. This is not the same Saiyan we saw earlier. While Vegito, now readying himself with a cocky smirk and his fists clenched, would let out, well, you're right about that.
Oh shit.
But predictable as ever. I knew you cowards would try to come at me all at once. But it's no bother. I have these two clowns here for just that occasion. 3 on 3. Winner takes all. But just as Vegito would say this, the priest would launch into an uncharacteristic laughter as he says back, 3 on 3? Not quite, God Killer. For you have gone on too long tampering with the timelines and experiencing none of the consequences. But now, your actions will catch up to you in ironic fashion.
What are you doing? Who
And
that?
suddenly, to his side, a time portal would open, and a strange foot would then begin to walk out. One of a god of destruction before... You will pay!
Who that?
As unbelievably, after all this time, God of Destruction Goku would finally make his return. The same Goku whose entire family was ripped away, just like Vegito's, but ultimately because of what Vegito had done. As Destroyer
I remember that.
Goku
Okay.
would then say coldly, "You're the reason. You're the reason I lost everything. You're the reason this all happened. And I won't let it happen again. I will not forgive you, Vegito!" But that was it.
Okay. The priest playing a little dirty. Okay. Oh well, Vegeta's playing dirty to the nigga. All these niggas absorbed. But okay. We'll see what's up. A little twist at the end. Okay. I like it. But anyway, shout out to CallMeARJ for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video you might like right here. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.